What's going on, everybody? This is Chris Classic with a car vlog on the way to work. God is good. God is not only the sword, but also the shield and also our refuge for a lot of things. Some of us, we love the prosperity part. When we read the word, we understand that it's just a lot of trials and tribulations and things like that. And we got to develop discernment and a better understanding of what God is saying in that book. So, God is love. And speaking of love, God loves you, I love you, Christ loves you. Praying for everybody. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, the Taking On Podcast, and also make sure you subscribe to C3 Ultimate Wrestling, the YouTube channel. Me and my wife's professional wrestling company. Our show is next weekend, 10, the show of all shows. If you are a fan of wrestling, regardless if it's on the independents or television, you will tune in or buy a ticket. Even if you cannot come, buy a ticket to attend the show of all shows, because it is going to be an extravagant event and I am looking forward to it. Whew, God is good. I wanted to talk about something that have people in their feelings. I want to talk about, so I'll drink some water. I want to talk about CM Punk's return to AEW. And he's returning on their new show, Collision Course. And a lot of people are like, not my AEW, not my America, not my America, not AEW. No. What did I say in previous videos, man? See, first of all, it's two takes from the beginning, from the surface level. Two takes. Brawl out, fall out shouldn't have happened, first of all. If this is your company, you do not have to do just berate people that you hired, even if he's 100% right, on a public forum. Two, a lot of people think that this is a work from the beginning. If this is a work, which means, scripted, this is horrible that he hurt himself, because now it's 9 months later. It's like he couldn't say nothing at home for 9 months. Like, nobody would have been clung on to CM Punk talking for 9 months. And CM Punk is one of the best talkers out of there. But to try to talk for 9 months to help with something would have not worked, period. So that's my thing. Like I said, if it is, I don't know. I'm not going too deep into detail. There's so many people, rumors about contracts and lawsuits. I'm not going in all that. But what we're going in is what brother Tony Khan said about CM Punk return. Now, I've said this since AEW started as a company. Now, a lot of people was clamoring for AEW to be anti-WWE. They wanted it to be different. They wanted the politics, if they had any, to be different. They wanted their favorite wrestlers or indie stars to go to AEW because there's freedom and stuff like that, and they get a chance to show their skills on a national level. With all of that being said, AEW has to do a lot of things that WWE has to do as well. And I've said this, and a lot of people are starting to understand that. And when some people understood it, unfortunately, they left out the door and took their ratings with them. I am sorry, but that is 100% true. CM Punk returning, I am not even upset at, because I don't really have that much ties to AEW, let alone WWE, but I'm not even upset with that. They need ratings. They need to be over 1 million. And a lot of people say, oh, it's not about ratings. To certain businesses and investors and the cable company, yes, it is. It is very important. Very important. Ratings are very important. If you tank and you don't do good, and if you are stagnant with below 1 million and then you keep going lower or whatever like that, they will kick you to the curb. They will take you to another channel. They'll sell your catalog. They'll do a whole bunch of stuff. So ratings is very, very important. What people don't want to say is that CM Punk was the person that was doing the $1 Million House, as he says. He said this, and he was not lying. Regardless if people liked him or not, people wanted to see if he can still go, if he can still talk. and dream matches with Kenny Omega and going back into Bryan Danielson and a whole bunch of other things. Now, he's not the only person that did some toxic stuff in the company. So this is my take. If y'all really cared for AEW and didn't want that toxic mess, then some of the guys that have Twitter accounts, that get a microphone, that go into business for themselves, they shouldn't have been talking and stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? They shouldn't have been talking. And going into it being fake, I think, in my opinion, it's pretty crazy that the Elite, they won the trios titles and then had a fight and then had to drop them. So now, even if that's fake, that's pretty selfish of them, because they could have gave it to, who was it? The Dark Order and Adam Page. They could have gave it to them so they can have the first run. But no, they wanted to be the first trios champion, I guess, to give it prestige. My thing with that is the Elite and them, they've had years, about maybe 2-3 years, to get something to where people will want to watch them and stuff. Do they draw? Yes. I'm not saying that they don't draw, but they're not drawing as much as Punk. I think that's just the harsh reality that people need to realize, is that they need big ratings and stuff like that. And it's just like, sometimes when they say the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and that's the thing. You know, a lot of people wanted to AEW to thrive and stuff like that. They need somebody like Punk. They need a megastar. Now, Bryan Danielson, he could have been in that spot, but you know, they didn't. They let him be with Blackpool Combat Club. He's doing whatever they're doing with that. You know, William Regal, he acted like Will Smith's dad in Fresh Prince. He was only there for a little bit. Lou, that was his name. Lou was only on the show for one episode, and then he went back to WWE because it just happened. That's how Lou said it in Fresh Prince. But anyway, if you watch the episode, you know what I'm talking about. And then now Blackpool Combat Club was like, how come he don't want me? So now they're trying to, you know, do whatever they're doing and stuff like that. Because I do think ratings-wise, if you would have kept him in the title picture a little longer, it might have helped a little bit. You know, MJF is doing his thing and stuff like that. You got to give him great challenges that people want to look at. You know, just being honest. But going back into it, yeah, you guys have to realize that AEW is also a company that wants ratings. Sometimes they'll tuck their tail between their legs and they'll do things. You know, a lot of people have been consistent on AEW because they want people of color to be pushed. They want them in the title picture because Tony, who is considered a person of color to himself and other people, they said it. They've quoted it. They've said it on live microphones. A lot of people are even frustrated with that. So it's just like, if AEW is just one of those companies to be frustrated with, just like WWE. It's a political game. And not only that, the people who sponsor AEW and want certain things, they're saying they want CM Punk. CM Punk has to be this. CM Punk has to be a part of the product. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that Khan is a yes man, if you will, but he's a businessman. So sometimes you have to compromise your business and have to compromise your product. Similar things that WWE does. You wouldn't think that the Ultimate Warrior or even Randy Savage would even come back to WWE, but they came back, or they were on the way to return because of money and business and stuff like that. And some people want to see them and stuff. Now, some people don't want to see CM Punk, but some people do want to see CM Punk. See CM Punk. Woo, tongue twist. But that's just what it is. And even the people who can't stand CM Punk, they're going to watch it. See, and that's the thing with wrestling, right? Sometimes it doesn't matter how you feel about the product. If you watch it, that is a viewership and stuff like that. Nowadays, people can detect when you cut the TV off or change the channel, what's the highest rating, which is pretty dope to me, because a lot of people used to be like, y'all watching TV because of me. Now you can definitely see it from segments and commercial breaks, what's going on. But going back into it, yeah, it's just the same thing, you know. AEW is just a business. They pander just like other businesses do. I mean, like last year, you know, June, a lot of people celebrate Pride. Some people don't, but it is what it is. They was showing packages of like Sunny Kiss and his wrestling and things like that, and what he provided. And then after that, you never seen him on TV. I think you wasn't even seeing that man on TV before that even happened. And this was a company that that said that they were progressive. The Nyla Rose situation as well. They was putting Nyla Rose on TV with some of the top people and everything like that, and you dang near don't see Nyla Rose. So it's just business tactics. Some of it is distasteful, some of it is honest. I do think that for the most part, sometimes AEW is a little more honest with certain things, but sometimes it's just a tasteless thing. A lot of companies do this stuff, man. A lot of people be wanting, they be begging, please show us, or please represent us and stuff like that. And I'm like, if you got to do this at this time, then maybe either make another company or find a company that does that kind of stuff. There's a lot of companies that do that. I'm just saying. But going back into it, it's a company, it's a business, it's trying to grow. CM Punk brings millions of views. So that just shows you that people would rather see CM Punk than Kenny Omega. And then the ones who hate CM Punk or dislike CM Punk, I doubt they're not going to watch the product. Look, so many people want AEW to succeed. I want them to succeed. But what I won't do is, I won't be like, well, WWE has to fail, or I'm going to accept everything that AEW does because, WWE has, rotted a lot of aspects of wrestling to a lot of people, that I'll just accept crap. It don't make sense. If you go to a restaurant and something tastes bad and it's so bad that you want it to fail, you go to another restaurant that serves the same thing, then you taste it as bad, it tastes as bad as that, but you just want that company to succeed because you had a bad experience or whatever like that. Stuff happens, man. And like I said, I'm not even big on a lot of things that WWE does and stuff like that. But at the same time, I'd be like, okay, well, y'all be saying y'all don't like this in WWE, but AEW does the same thing. They hired a lot of ex-WWE talent. A lot of y'all didn't want that to happen. Some of y'all didn't want an ex-WWE guy to win the championship. CM Punk won the championship. Y'all said y'all wanted stories and matches that made sense. Look, I could go all day. As a person that watches both products, who watches the PLEs and PPVs on TVs and flat screens, bars, I could just sit here and say, okay, well, I don't like this and I don't like that. And, you can too. You're more than welcome to. And then sometimes I'll just be critical on AEW and somebody will say, oh, well, WWE does it. I'm not talking about WWE, even if it does. WWE messes up or something that I don't like, I bring that up and stuff like that. But that's my choice. If I want to sit here and bomb on AEW, I have a right to. Just like other people have a right to bomb on WWE, Impact, anything. You have a right to do that. But at the same time, it's all a business or whatever like that. If somebody goes viral right now, millions, let's say 1 billion views. A wrestler gets billions of views today. WWE and AEW will call them. You probably have a better chance at AEW because almost anything that goes viral with AEW, they will book you for a little bit. They'll give you a match. That's just what it is because they want to show that they outside and they paying attention. Punk is back. Punk is trying to save ratings. We will see what happens at Collision Course because it is in Chicago. So people are going to love CM Punk. There's no way that they are going, to boo CM Punk in Chicago. I know people booed him on the announcement because he is messing up people's precious AEW because they want to see stuff that doesn't involve Punk. A lot of people talked about his wrestling. Oh, he doesn't wrestle as good as he is. Right, he's an unseasoned spring chicken. I mean, he's 40-something years old. But at the same time, I'm looking at people miss steps and botch stuff and fall and trip and miss things too. And that'd be my biggest thing too, is just that so many people, they sit here and be like, oh, okay, well, he messes up a lot. And then even Jade, right? A lot of people, Jade messes up a lot. I'm like, are you serious? I'm looking at people fall over people. I'm looking at unfortunate injuries. I'm looking at broken bones. I'm looking at stuff being sloppy. I'm looking at people fall from moves that was feet away from them. I'm looking at a dude, Trent Beretta, was supposed to sell this claw bomb. Dude, he just jumped into the table. Dude couldn't even, all he did was, I guess, act like he was about to do the move. You know how Umaga used to do the spike, he used to flex and then do the spike. Dude tried to do it with the claw bomb, and as soon as he did that, Trent was already looking at the table to fall on. So, and it's not just something to just ridicule. I just think that a lot of people just got to get it out their feelings with it, because AEW has made that the executive decision, or they made him a contract, or companies want it. Like, this is the thing with wrestling. Everything that you want will not happen. Some people are signed, you don't want to be signed, and things like that. Like, people are, how dare CM Punk disrespect this company? And to be honest, that was the biggest way to disrespect it. And like I said, I'm not sitting here saying that that was fine for him to do. But at the same time, this is the same company, have everybody who has Twitter accounts, backstage access with their cameras and stuff. They expose the business. They also talk about the older people. They also say they don't take advice from older people. They also diss the older people, the veterans and the legends and Hall of Famers. They diss these people because they want to go and wrestle with their friends and stuff like that. But if AEW wants to be a business, you have to act like a business. And sometimes with business, you have to give people what they want, what they really, really want, and what those execs and stuff really, really want. CM Punk. Are you guys excited about CM Punk's return? Do you care about CM Punk's return? Do you think he's going to bring back the millions and millions? I don't want to say and millions, but the million viewers. I hate saying it like that because it sounds bad, but it's the truth. You guys you looking forward to some of his matches? You looking forward to his promo? How should he even be in the business? What do you guys think? Let me know. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. God bless. This is Chris Classic. Let's take it home.